That good? On the white balance, you know.
Everybody have sound? Everybody good? Yep. Just a reminder to have your cell phones on silent or vibrate. Okay.
So extra loud?
Yeah. Last time I announced it, somebody's phone went off. I'll make sure I get a little reminder.
You enough Michael Jackson?
It was a proper ringtone. Not one of those crazy ones where you
Oh. Yeah.
Good morning. I'm Assistant Sheriff Tim Kelly. I'm going to brief you on additional details as we know them today about the officer-involved shooting that occurred on Monday, August 19, 2019. This is OIS number 13 for 2019, fatal number 4. Same time last year, OIS number 16, fatal number 8. Date and time of call was August 19, 2019 at 1:26 a.m. Assault battery with a gun. Location of the OIS, 1900 South Casino Drive, Aquarius Casino Resort, Laughlin, Nevada 89029, within Laughlin Area Command. You can see the scene to my left. Time of the OIS, shots fired at approximately 07:39 a.m. The involved officers. Officer Corey Mickelson, he's 52 years old and has been with the LVMPD for 24 years. He is assigned to the Special Weapons and Tactics Bureau, commonly referred to as SWAT. In this incident, Officer Mickelson was armed with an Accuracy International AX 308 rifle equipped with optic. The investigation revealed he fired one round during the incident. Officer Mickelson was wearing a body-worn camera. Second officer, Officer John Susich. He is 42 years old and has been with the LVMPD for 17 years. He is assigned to SWAT as well. In this incident, Officer Susich was armed with a Glock 17, 9mm handgun equipped with a tactical light and optic. The investigation revealed he fired 5 rounds during the incident. Officer Susich was wearing a body-worn camera. The suspect, Michael Todd Lopez. He's 69 years old, white male adult, 5'10", 165 pounds. Lopez is pictured to my left. Lopez's weapon, high point model C9 pistol, 9mm with a magazine that held 8 rounds. Lopez's criminal history. Lopez is a convicted felon out of Nevada for transporting stolen property, attempt robbery with a deadly weapon, attempt burglary, 1983, Nevada. Lopez is also a convicted felon out of California for assault with a deadly weapon, burglary, transporting stolen property, bank robbery, robbery. Lopez's prior arrests include bank robbery, assault with a deadly weapon, burglary, receiving known stolen property, kidnapping with use of deadly weapon, attempt armed robbery with use of deadly weapon, out-of-state parolee, impersonating a police officer, interstate transportation of stolen property, DUI, hit and run, disorderly conduct, and criminal damage. Lopez's charges, had he survived, would be 2 counts of attempted robbery with a deadly weapon, 2 counts of burglary with firearm, attempt murder with deadly weapon, multiple counts of assault with a deadly weapon on a protected person, and prohibited person in possession of a firearm. I will now go into the details of the OIS. On August 19 at 12:49 a.m., suspect Michael Lopez entered the Golden Nugget Casino cage area. Lopez approached the casino and laid his black firearm on the counter and demanded money. The cashier refused to give him money and did nothing. Lopez grabbed his gun and walked away. Lopez left the Golden Nugget and drove to the Aquarius Casino. He parked at 1:04 a.m. and entered the casino at 1:11 a.m. Lopez walked around the casino and then approached the casino cage at 1:23 a.m. The cashier watched Lopez walk up and put his gun on the counter and ask for money. This cashier also tells him no and then looks at a security guard who is standing behind Lopez. Lopez grabs his gun, tucks it into a magazine he is carrying, and walks out of the casino. The security guard followed Lopez and directed other security guards on the property to their positions as they walked out to the parking lot. Lopez suddenly turned and fired 1 round at the security officer who was following him, missing him. As Lopez ran between cars, the security guard took cover and called for the police. Several Laughlin patrol units responded. Minutes later, they found Lopez sitting in his truck in the parking lot. They blocked him in and began to bullhorn him to come out and surrender. Lopez refused to exit his truck. Laughlin units continued to talk to Lopez and notified SWAT of the barricade at 2:16 a.m. SWAT and the crisis negotiation team responded to Laughlin and exchanged position with the patrol officers on scene. SWAT officers positioned their Bearcats at the front and rear of Lopez's truck. Crisis negotiators talked to Lopez over the next several hours, trying to get him to surrender peacefully. Officer Mickelson, a SWAT sniper, took an elevated position in the parking garage. Officer Suchit and several other SWAT officers were stationed to the rear of the Bearcat that was positioned behind Lopez's truck. The officers prepared to deploy a low-lethal option. Lopez was talking back and forth with Officer Susich during this time. Suddenly, Lopez reached into the back seat of his truck, pulled his handgun out, and turned toward the SWAT officers. He took several steps with the gun, held upward in the air, and pointed with his finger at the area where Officer Susich and the other officers were standing. As Lopez approached the rear of the Bearcat, he lowered the gun and pointed towards Officer Susich. Officer Mickelson saw this and fired one round from his rifle at Lopez, striking him. Simultaneously, as Officer Mickelson fired, Officer Susich saw Lopez coming toward him, past the Bearcat door, pointing the gun at him. Officer Susich fired 5 rounds at Lopez, also striking him. Lopez collapsed next to the Bearcat's rear door. Medical was requested and responded. Lopez was pronounced deceased at the scene. First, you'll see footage from the SWAT armored vehicle, then body-worn camera footage, followed by surveillance footage obtained by our force investigation team.
I know, man. I want to come talk to you face to face, dude. I don't want to do this. You understand what direction you're coming from, right? Mike. Yeah, but dude, what you're going to do to your family right now is even worse. Think about the consequences of your actions right now. You're not gonna see any of them. And they're going to hear about this nonsense that you're pulling right now, dude. If you come back and do it like a man and come surrender to us and handle your business, you may get off on this, dude. This is stupid the way you're going about this. Your family's going to have to deal with this for the rest of their lives if you do this stupid stuff. If you're still alive, you can... Go. Let me see it.
Okay, now I'll open up for any questions that you may have.
How are the 2 officers doing?
They're doing fine. I just spoke to them a little bit ago. They're in good spirits. Yes, ma'am.
So the officers didn't know that he had his gun when he started walking towards them?
They knew that he had a weapon because he had fired at the security guard, and also they have observed all of the footage through the Bearcat to see him raising the gun up and down, and he actually ran towards them, not walk.
Those 2 attempted robberies that morning, those were the only 2 known incidents with him involved?
Yes, along with the attempt murder when he fired at the security guard. All right? Yes, sir.
You may have already covered this, but how many times was he shot total?
6.
6 times.
There were 5 rounds that was fired by Officer Susich and 1 round that was fired by Officer Mickelson.
And so since they saw the video from the Bearcat, did they tell him maybe before that video, hey, put the gun down, or was that?
Yes, ma'am. They had been negotiating with him for several hours prior to this incident occurring with the OIS. So the negotiators had been attempting to get him to surrender, come out peacefully, but at some point he decided that he didn't want to do that.
Can you talk about when officers face critical incidents like this, what kind of effect that has on them?
Well, it can have a psychological effect on them because this is a traumatic incident for anybody involved in this type of event. So what we do is we have an extensive return to duty program for our officers where they go out, they go in and talk to doctors. Once they get cleared to come back to work, then we put them back through training. And that can be something that takes for 3 months to 6 months. It just depends on the officer. And we let them make that determination along with the doctors to make that determination on whether they're ready to come back to work. Okay?
I know we're not talking about the OIS that happened last night, but can you just give us an update on how that officer is doing and how dangerous police
So
work is?
we will, as we always do with our transparency, we'll have a 72-hour brief associated with that OIS. What I can tell you is that the investigation is ongoing even as we speak. and the officer is in good spirits, and he's going to recover. So, and to your other point, it is extremely difficult. The officers are faced with split-second decisions, and they have to react in the appropriate manner.
Throughout the course of your investigation, have you been able to determine whether or not the deceased had any mental instabilities?
Well, as I said earlier, we are just in the initial throes of this investigation. We come out here with what we know within those 72 hours to ensure that transparency component to the community is met. So we are still working through all of those details. It's just going to take us some time. All right? Well, thank you very much and have a good day.
Excellent breath.